Welcome back to this fourth installation of Arts in Isolation, Triple Threat, Your Acting Component. My name is Nichola Renton, and thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be immersing ourselves in Shakespeare. Now, if you are a true lover of Shakespeare, welcome, have fun with us. But if you're new to Shakespeare, be brave. I promise you by the end of this 15 minutes, you are going to love the work. I do think the thing you're going to enjoy the most about Shakespeare from an actor's perspective is the physicality of it. When I worked with Central Theatre, we got to do all the sword fights in Romeo and Juliet turned into stick fights, incredibly physical. When I toured Much Ado About Nothing with them, I played 5 different characters. I got to be this judge who had a white wig and little glasses and, kind of these kind of hands. This year, 2020, will mark the 404th anniversary of William Shakespeare's death. He is largely regarded as one of our greatest playwrights. I have enjoyed my many years of performing and directing Shakespeare, and in November every year, my company, the Actors Workshop, auditions for our Shakespeare troupe that will perform throughout January throughout Perth. We're a range of amateur actors all the way to semi-professional that come together and really immerse ourselves in the beautiful Shakespeare text and perform it outdoors through summer. We have audiences ranging from 50 to 150, and they bring their wine and their blankets and their cheese platter, and they watch this wonderful romp in the park. Please follow me on Facebook, The Actors Workshop, and keep a lookout for those auditions that are coming up. It is a great way to meet like-minded people and really have fun performing Shakespeare. I promise you I'm a wonderful director and I will help you all the way through it, which is what I'm going to do now. I led the speech when I was about 10 or 11 years old at school. I had a wonderful teacher called Mrs. Gerber in South Africa, and I'm not quite sure why she thought this was an appropriate speech for young women, but it has stayed with me my whole life. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps at this petty pace from day to day, till the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, brief candle. Life is but a walking shadow. It is a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. If this is the monologue that you choose, let's put it in context. It has been a long road traveled for Macbeth, very emotional. He conspired with his wife to kill the king, and then he himself did the act. They covered it all up. There are supernatural forces involved and manipulating what's happening. He then has to kill his best friend to keep going along this road of ambition. He slaughters or sends the order to slaughter an entire family. This raging ambition and need to quiet all the critics is become all-consuming. His wife feels that she's losing him, and she's tried to pull him back. She's used everything to say, please come back to me, this is too much. And he cannot. He is this force now. War is raging. He can look over his battlements, and there comes the forces from England, from Ireland, from France, all coming towards him to take down his reign. And then he hears that his wife is dead. It's a lot on his plate. Let's have a look at those words. Repeat after me. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps at this petty pace from day to day. Beautiful. Say those words now, please. To the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. out. Out, brief candle. Life is but a walking shadow. A poor player. Now, player was another word that they used for actors. It's just an actor. We're walking around like actors. A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury. Full of sound and fury. But it means nothing, signifying nothing. An emo speech. All right, let's read it all through together. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps at this petty pace from day to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle. Life is but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. I love it. Beautiful work. Beautiful. Other than getting this small bit of training that I'm going to give you today, there are great ways that you can get some experience with Shakespeare, and that is watching great actors perform Shakespeare. Essential Theatre comes to Western Australia every year, to Perth, and they perform at a winery. Wonderful. Follow them on Facebook. Another way to watch it is live streaming. The Globe Theatre and the Royal Shakespeare Theatre, due to isolation, are making some of their performances available for free, which is incredible. And there are lots of wonderful movies for you to watch. Much Ado About Nothing with Emma Thompson and Kenneth Branagh, A Midsummer Night's Dream, Romeo and Juliet. Choose your favorite and immerse yourself in it. Great way to learn. There's a wonderful resource on the internet called No Fear Shakespeare. I buy their books a lot, but they also have it online for you to see. It's incredible because it has the Shakespeare text on one side and it has a beautiful translation on the other side of every page all the way through. So very often people listen to the words that Shakespeare has written in his plays and are very confused by it because it sounds like a totally different language. Let me give you some hints about this. So Shakespeare wrote in a rhythm called iambic pentameter, and it sounds a little bit like this rhythm. O grim look night, O night with hue so black. All right, so this rhythm he writes throughout all of his plays, which is amazing. And what he's doing is he's actually putting the emphasis beat on the important word. Grim night, night hue black. Hue meaning the color of blackness. So the night is black. All the other words on the lesser beat are not as important. O grim looked night, O night with hue so black. What does that sound like? Sounds like a heartbeat, of course, and of course a horse galloping as well. Beautiful. Just like with rap or with some poetry, this rhythm keeps the pace going beautifully. There are a couple of places where he chooses to mess up the iambic pentameter, sometimes when a character is going insane, but generally all of his text is O grim look night, O night with hue so black, O night whichever art when day is not. So to fit into his iambic pentameter, he tends to start moving things around. What he can do is he can drop letters out of words, squish words together, make up words, move words around in the sentence just to fit into this beautiful iambic pentameter. Here is Hermia's monologue from A Midsummer Night's Dream, my favorite play. In the scene, Hermia confronts Helena, her best friend, because she feels that Helena has stolen her love. In fact, what's happened is a naughty character called Puck has put love potion in her boyfriend's eyes, and when he woke up and the first thing that he saw was Helena, he totally fell in love with her. So Hermia arrives on the scene and her boyfriend is kissing Helena's hand. They start having an argument about this, trying to figure out what's going on. And then her best friend calls her a puppet. Now in the scene, it's a great scene because they're calling each other quite nasty words, canker blossom and thief of love. And all of a sudden, her friend calls her a puppet. So she's very angry anyway. She's trying to get to the bottom of it. And her friend says, you puppet, you. Puppet? Why so? Aye, that way goes the game. Now I perceive that she hath made compare between our statures, and with her personage, her tall personage, her height forsooth, she hath prevailed with him. And are you grown so high in his esteem because I am so dwarfish and so low? How low am I, thou painted maypole? Speak, how low am I? I'm not yet so low that my nails cannot reach into thine eyes. Red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry. Really get that mouth moving so you can get around the consonants and make sure that all your Shakespeare words are understood. I'm going to talk very quickly about point of focus where you're looking. So definitely in Shakespeare, everything that you do on stage is incredibly important because we're trying so hard to understand what you're saying. So really, I want you to embody the text and show as much as you can the feeling that you're doing. Your point of focus is where you look, and it's really important because we need to know, are you talking to yourself? Are you talking to somebody? Are you having an internal monologue and struggle with something that you're doing? If you are doing this a lot and moving around a lot, it's very confusing for us. Or if you're aimlessly walking up and down, it makes no sense. Walk, talk a little bit. Walk somewhere else with purpose, talk a little bit. We want all your action to have meaning. This has been a lot of fun. Adventures with Shakespeare. As I said, please don't be an actor who won't do certain things. Actors have to be able to do everything. You are able, of course, to say no to stuff. There are things that I won't do as an actor. I don't do gambling adverts and I don't do smoking adverts. I teach a lot of young people and I don't think any of those are healthy for me to put my face on and endorse. There are certain saucy scenes that I need to read first and see where I'm comfortable with. So always you will respect yourself and make sure you are in a safe environment. But you are not to shy away from things where you just don't feel like you have the right stuff, because I promise you, being in a Shakespeare production is honestly some of the best fun work that I've ever done on an amateur level and in a class and on a professional stage as well. So please watch some movies, and when that opportunity comes up that maybe your community is putting together something really fun, that you are going to go in there and audition. Remember, we know as directors and casting agents, we know how difficult Shakespeare is. Your director is always going to help you. I've never done a professional production when a director didn't explain something to me. I mean, I don't get everything right. And they go, you know, that word that you've been saying, that's not how you pronounce it. Or you need to put an emphasis in a different place there for that sentence to make sense. That's what we're here for, directors and teachers. So know that you are in kind hands and you don't need to know everything about Shakespeare. You just need to be adventurous. And I promise you, you will have a lot of fun. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I should say goodnight till it be morrow. Thank you for joining me in this fourth video for Arts in Isolation for the City of Joondalup, and have a wonderful time this week immersing yourself in all things Shakespeare. My grandma and your grandma sitting by the fire. My grandma said to your grandma, I'm going to set your world on fire. Talk about hey now. Aiko, aiko, ane, break it down. Ekamofina, anane, ekamofina, hey, ekamofina, hey, ekamofina, hey.